Okay. CH-47 Fox model pilot. Typical day for us is get up and start our day off with a briefing at 1800, where we get our mission for whatever we're doing that day. CH-47 is capable of doing pretty much any mission the military requires of it. We can do air assaults, sling load missions where we do resupplies, internal loading of cargo, packs, and other equipment. Typically the day starts off again at 1800, and then we move on to a briefing, and then we come out to our aircraft, and missions change every day. We have a good idea of what they are each day before we come into work, but last minute changes and things like that result in a very dynamic mission set for us. The challenges that you're going to experience here is at Jalalabad, where we're stationed at now, is very low. It's only about 1,800 feet above sea level, and the mountains that we fly into, the Hindu Kush Mountains, can be anywhere from 7,000 up to as much as 20+ thousand feet. So you have extreme elevation changes. With those elevation changes, as a helicopter pilot, it affects the performance of the helicopter itself. Everything environmentally, everything affects the helicopter. Altitude, how hot it is outside. The hotter it is, the harder the helicopter has to work. The interesting thing about flying at night is that typically your engagements with the enemy are less likely. They don't have the night vision capabilities that we do. They're less likely to engage at night. We have other aircraft, our Apaches, for instance, who have sensors and things that can see these guys before they see us. The challenges that we have end up being more environmental. The darker it is outside, the better as far as concealment for us. However, at the same time, the enemy can't see us because it's dark. There are obstacles out there that we may not see. The darker it is out there, the harder it is to see the mountains. The goggles don't work as well. So that's really, for us, flying at night is a trade-off. Less likely to be shot at by the enemy due to them being not able to see us, but the challenge becomes more environmental with the mountains and the rising terrain. One of the hardest parts of this is, and it's not just being a pilot, it's being in the military and being over here and being away from family. That's a big thing for me. You know, I do my job every day and I'm busy, and sometimes weeks go by and you don't realize it. But I just think people need to really remember that it's, you know, it's my wife and my son at home. It's, you know, the crew members that I have on the aircraft, it's their families. They're the reasons why we do these things, to try to keep them safe. You know, we want to help the Afghani people. However, you know, it's really them. I don't think this job would be as enjoyable if I didn't have them back at home supporting me. So, you know, they're a big part of this. I remember it fairly well. I remember my wife calling me and saying that the president was getting on the TV. I had a special announcement, and it was really kind of a shock. I didn't really, you know, it's one of those things like, really, I didn't believe it at first. But of course, you know, as the news came out and more people reported it, a couple of things went through my mind. We had already been slated for deployment. So, you know, the first thing is, well, how does that affect us with the deployment? It didn't. Obviously, we came here anyways. There's still a job to do. There's still a lot of things that need to be done out here to help stabilize Afghanistan. And then the second thing, and I was kind of amazed by the pilot's skill. I mean, they really had to use some skill to get out there and get that mission done. Just knowing about the type of environment this is out here, the challenges of flying that distance, challenges of finding a place in the dark, that sort of thing, and then coming back essentially with no injuries for the U.S. forces. It's an amazing feat. Those guys are, I mean, they're very skilled pilots.
Basically, one of the main things you want to do is maintain secrecy and OPSEC. Lots of stuff's leaking out these days on like social media and stuff like that. So basically, keep yourself safe by keeping that information tight. And you know, we get missions like that, and we get information basically 3 hours prior. And the pilots have to do their planning. Crew members have to go get the aircraft ready for that mission set, and just go out and accomplish the mission. Say the adrenaline rush about what I do. Flying a helicopter all day long, and sometimes you go into hot LZs where you know that these people are going to have the equipment to take you down, but you get in there, get the guys on the ground, they go and take those bad guys out. So, you know, the ground convoy and the civilians in Afghanistan can be safe throughout their daily movements.